Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I know my voice sound a little unusual. It's because I'm sick. I feel like doing this podcast, we have been sick so many times.
Thank you, daycare.
Thank you, daycare. I mean, you could give us at least a discount how many times we get sick, not the kid. But usually it's my wife that gets sick. With my daughter, she has taken me out, guys. She's over there playing around, being an amazing kid. And I'm over here sick and coughing my lungs out.
My turn is coming, though. My throat feels a little itchy now.
Yeah, so that's what having kids in daycare is all about. But done with daycare talk. This weekend, we got some plans, guys. We going to the petting zoo. We going to
one of your favorite restaurants.
My favorite restaurants, guys. Trelux. They have the best lemon drop martinis. Guys, it's so good. Like, we having a double date with a friends of ours, and we're excited. I think I'm more excited than my wife. I've been counting down. I'm like, I've been sick, so finally I get to go out because my wife, the last 2 weekends, she been like out with our daughter because I've been sick.
Because you told me to.
Yes, I'm on my long time with my medicine to work. But yeah, I hope you all have a nice weekend too. Now, let's get into the episode. In the fall of 1971, a young boy vanished from a public housing complex in the southern United States. He was just 9 years old, last seen going to bed in the top bunk of the small room he shared with his older brother. By morning, he was gone. No noise, no struggle, no witnesses, just an empty bed in a door that had never been opened. At first, the authorities dismissed the disappearance, labeling it as a runaway. They theorized he had traveled across state lines to reconnect with his distant relative. But those closest to him never believed that story. He was happy, rooted, and deeply loved. He had no money, no plans, no reason to leave. The one who knew him best insists something far more sinister had occurred. Inside the home, tension simmers beneath the surface. There was whispers of violence, of a volatile figure with a dark past. One neighbor claimed to have seen the boy entering a car that night. That detail was later recanted, but it left behind a trail of suspicions that never truly faded. Years passed. The community where it happened was eventually torn down. His mother died without answers. His father, too. And still, no trace of the boy has ever been found. If he's alive today, he'll be in his 60s. But the question remains, how does a child vanish from his own bed without a sound? Who saw what? And why has no one ever come forward? More than 50 years later, the case remains unsolved. The light on the front porch was left on for years, but the boy never came home. This is the case of Anthony Murrill. Anthony Murrill was born on January 18, 1962, in North Carolina. A soft-spoken, wide-eyed boy with a tender heart and a smile that could light up any room. He was the youngest of four children, the baby of the family. His older brothers, Stuart Knox, Vincent Murrill, and Alfred Murrill, looked after him like protective shadows. Together, they made up a close-knit family bond, not by material wealth, but by the warmth and resilience that only love and struggle can afford. By 1971, Anthony and his family had relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, where they lived in the Harris Home Housing Project on Sales Avenue. Harris Homes was a dense web of old brick apartment buildings, low-income housing for hundreds of working-class black families trying to get by in the Deep South during a time of unrest, poverty, and transition. The buildings were weathered, the hallways dim, but the bond within the community was strong. Children played in the courtyard until the streetlight buzzed to life, and mothers watched them from the porch, calling out reminders to come in for dinner. Inside their small apartment, Anthony lived with his mother, his stepfather Edward, and his three older brothers. The space was cramped, filled with hand-me-down furniture and the voice of four growing boys. Anthony shared a room with one of his brothers. The two of them slept in the bunk bed, pushed against the wall. Anthony always took the top bunk. At just 9 years old, he was still at the tender age, old enough to want a bit of independence, but young enough to need comfort nearby. On the night of November 14, 1971, everything seemed normal. Anthony climbed into the top bunk after saying goodnight. His brother settled below, and the household quieted. Nothing seemed unusual. No raised voice, no loud sound. Just another ordinary night. But when his brother awoke the next morning, Anthony was gone. The top bunk was empty. Panic spread through the apartment like wildfire. Anthony's mother screamed his name. His brother searched the halls and stairwell, and neighbors were aroused from their sleep. No one had seen him. No door had been heard opening that night. There was no sign of a struggle, no window open, no furniture disturbed. It was as if Anthony had vanished into thin air.
The family reported Anthony missing to the Atlanta Police Department, but the response was crushing. Officers dismissed the case as a simple runaway. They speculated that Anthony might have traveled back to North Carolina on his own, perhaps to stay with his relatives or to see his father, Lawrence Murrill, who still lived there. But Anthony's mother and brothers knew that wasn't possible. Anthony had no money, no plan, no reason to run away. He was just a child. He would have told someone, especially one of his brothers. Stuart, Vincent, and Alfred were heartbroken and furious. They begged the police to take the case seriously. But the investigation stalled before it could even begin. Despite the family's efforts, the runaway label stuck, and crucial time was lost. Anthony's mother refused to give up hope. She left the porch light on every night. She chained his little bicycle to the front steps so it would be there waiting for him when he came home. She prayed out loud every day for someone to tell her something, anything. But behind the walls of the apartment, darker fears lingered. One of Anthony's brothers later came forward with unsettling memories. Their stepfather, Edward Groves, had a violent past. There had been a terrifying episode like the time he stabbed their mother into a fit of rage. The family lived in fear of him. And then there was a rumor a neighbor claimed to have seen Anthony getting into Grove's car the night he disappeared. The neighbor later recanted, but the seed of suspicion had already taken root. None of his brothers could shake the feeling that Groves knew more than he ever admitted. Yet he was never questioned as a serious suspect. Time passed, the leads dried up, the case grew cold. Years turned into decades. The Harris homes were eventually demolished, replaced by new buildings, new families, new lives. But for the Murrill family, time stood still. Anthony was frozen in the minds as a sweet, playful 9-year-old boy with bright eyes and boundless curiosity. 15 years ago, Anthony's mother passed away. She died with a broken heart, never knowing what became of her youngest child. The grief consumed her quietly, like a candle burning. Then, in 2011, Lawrence Murrill, Anthony's father, also passed. He too left this world without answers. Now, only Anthony's brothers remain: Stuart, Vincent, and Alfred. Are older men now, but their devotion to their little brother has never faded. They still speak of him in the present tense. I still hope that maybe, just maybe, someone out there knows something. That truth, buried for decades, might finally rise to the surface. If Anthony were still alive today, he would be a 61-year-old. His family imagines the life he might have lived. They wonder if he ever thinks of them. If somewhere, the memory of a bunk bed in a cramped Atlanta bedroom or the sound of his mother's voice calling him to dinner ever finds him. Anthony's disappearance is not just an unsolved case. It's a stolen life. A lost brother. A boy who should have grown up surrounded by love, by family, by the ordinary joys of childhood. Instead, all that remains are questions and the aching silence where answers should be. Anthony Murrill is still missing, but he is not forgotten. His brothers remember. His story matters, and somewhere, someone knows what happened that night. Before we go, we want to take a moment to speak directly to the boy at the center of the story, Anthony Murrill. Born on January the 18th, 1962, disappeared from his home in Atlanta, Georgia on November 14, 1971. 9 years old, a son, a brother, a child with his whole life ahead of him. Anthony, if somehow you're out there hearing this, your family has never stopped loving you. They never stop hoping for your return. Your name still lives in every corner of their hearts, in the spaces you left behind. Your mother left the light on every night, just in case you found your way home. Your brothers, Stuart, Vincent, and Alfred, still carry your memory with them. Still speak your name. Still wait for the truth. And to those listening, if you know something, anything, please speak up. Even the smallest piece of information could help bring closure to a mystery that lingered far too long. Anthony was only 9 years old. He deserved to grow up. He deserved answers. He still does. Because every child matters. Every story matters. And Anthony Murrill is never forgotten. This is the case of Anthony Murrill. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
I'll go first.
Oh, twice?
No, just kidding, go.
This case right here is hard because it's like, I want to respect the family, right? Mm-hmm. But it's hard. I feel like something did happen that night.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm trying to be very respectful to the family because I feel like everybody should be respectful for the family when we go through theories and stuff like that. It's very important until we have concrete evidence. But this case right here, it's like I just have to go in right quick, and I'm so sorry if I disrespect the family, but here we go. Something happened that night. And I feel like it's a lot of things that happen in that household that probably the brothers are keeping to them. Because for him to be 9 years old, and I read some of the articles that the brothers has did, and also have heard how his mother has spoke of him, may she rest in peace. Everybody said that he was the king of that house, that their mother loved that little boy like her, like that was her baby because he was the youngest. To me, hear how the stepfather is, it seemed like the stepfather probably was jealous of that little boy. And to me, I feel like something did happen that night. I don't know if the mother didn't see what happened at all, because it doesn't seem like, because how she left the porch light on, how she kept his bike chain just in case he ever come back, for he can know his way home. Something happened with the stepfather and the son. And I don't know, part of me think that the brothers, they do know what may have happened. I do feel like they probably are scared of their stepfather. Sometimes,
Still?
I mean, the stepfather stabbed their mother in front of them. And it took them a while to even tell the police that information right then and there, And I'm sitting back thinking, like, it's a lot may have happened in that home. What if the little boy, he just got tired? And I'm thinking of the ages. I know the little boy who shared a room with him was 13. So you have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. I don't think he slept that hard. He would have heard something, Because I had a bunk bed before, and even I'm the only child. I have had my cousin there. When somebody get out that top bunk, you can hear it. You can hear everything in that top bunk. Like if you behind under them, you can hear it. If you're a light sleeper, you would have heard something. But I'm thinking, if the stepfather was abusing the youngest child, right? If he was abusing the youngest child, he went into that room. He probably got mad that the son did something, or the mother gave that little boy attention that he wanted. And he probably got him out the bed, because the neighbor said that she saw the man and the young boy got in that car, but she took her stuff back. I wonder, she took the information back because she was scared of the stepfather, what he might do to her. Because sometimes a man that has so much anger inside him, he can make a lot of people fear him.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. What if the little boy did something to him, or the mama gave him attention, and the stepfather got him out the bed quiet, like shh, like don't say nothing, got him in the car, unalive him and drove off, or beat him, something. I don't know, but it is the stepfather to me. I think that's our main thing, but I do think that the brothers know more of what happened in that household that they're not telling. Because in the Black community, we are taught that we're not allowed to say things that happen in the household. They tell us, I'm sorry, mom said it out loud, but my mom did tell me, whatever happened in this household stays in this household. So looking back then, they probably was taught that same thing. They probably know things that could solve their brother's case, but they was fear their stepfather, and also what stays in this house stays in this house. I'm just saying.
That's a really good theory. Obviously, nobody wants their dirty laundry out there. The fact that they had to say that was to try and help the case, but like you said, it almost seemed like they didn't want to say too much because of fear. And a lot of times, too, people don't know abuse until later in life. I was actually watching a TikTok, and there was a girl giving so many examples of what she endured when she was young, and now she recognizes it as abuse. So to them, if that was their normalcy, they believed, okay, a man is supposed to beat a woman until she listens and is under his domain. Maybe Anthony didn't think that way. Because he had the attention, he was probably the easiest target or the biggest target. So I actually do agree with you. I do believe that either the stepdad did it or he probably just got tired and ran away. But I feel like the police should have done their research. They should have investigated the dad. How is it that he got away with so much violence and nobody did anything.
Right.
I don't know if there were any reports filed, but obviously people knew, and the kids spoke about some of the abuse that they endured. But ultimately, I know definitely justice hasn't been served. And to the brothers, it doesn't make sense that he did run away.
Yeah.
The only reason that I can think of is he was scared of the stepdad. Maybe the stepdad threatened him, or he saw all the violence, he saw all the abuse that his mom endured. So maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he was looking for the dad. That's the only thing that I can think of. But we don't know.
Right.
And if they don't provide more information, we're not going to know. I just know that the police should have interviewed. And I know when you are in an abusive relationship, it's hard to get out, but you have to fight. You have to fight for your kids, even though it's scary. Like, you have to fight for yourself. You have to see your worth. You have to get out of that grasp, out of that mind control that the abuser has on you. Because it's sad, a lot of the times, either you pay the price or your kids pay the price.
And I think it's harder for some time when a woman, they get the child, right? Like the man always be like, oh, the woman gonna try to baby trap me. I feel like abusive men always gonna baby trap that woman. Only reason they baby trap because they want to be tied to them. They want that control. Even if she leave him, they still gotta deal with each other. He still can, mess with her, aggravate her.
He's always going to be a part of her life.
Right. And it's something my grandmama always told me. When a man show you his first red flag, don't think, oh, I can change him. Oh, no, I didn't see it. She always tell me, leave after the first red flag because it gonna get more. He gonna get more brave with each moment of your relationship. And then you're gonna be like, I'm too far gone. I got these kids with him and you scared to leave. It's so many videos I've seen of women on TikTok recording their abusive husband and they have it. And I was like, oh, I'm too far gone. You're not too far gone. I mean, we do see a lot of cases of men unalive and do a murder-suicide of their family. I know that is a fear a lot of women, and I'm so sorry that you do have that fear, that you are scared. But sometimes, baby girl, it's time to get your stuff. Like I always tell people, have your second bank account. Have that bank account that your husband don't have. And don't even put it in your name. You put it in somebody's name that you can trust. Not even a friend. Don't do a friend. We don't trust friends that much. If you could trust your family members, have it in their name. So when you can leave, leave.
I feel like it's scarier to stay in an abusive relationship than it is to get out. But that is just my perception. I witnessed an abusive relationship and I always told myself, I don't want to be that person. So we made rules and I told you my deal breakers. And one of them was, if you ever put your hands on me, that's it.
Yeah, talk about this.
So an abuser is going to push. They're going to push and they're going to see how far they can get. But you have to learn how to stand up for yourself, how to see your worth, and how to basically leave a situation.
But you gotta think about it. Back then in the 70s, abuse wasn't abuse. Like, she could have easily called and be like, hey, this man stabbed me. Because let's think about it. If he stabbed her, as the kids did say that he stabbed her a couple times, like, I don't know if in the stomach. The sad thing about this case doesn't have a lot of information. It's not a lot. It's barely a page. But she went to the hospital. They had to ask her, hey, what happened? And I know I've been watching a lot of like true crime back in that time period. Sometimes the doctors say they didn't know the signs. Like if the woman came and said like her husband abused her and she said, hey, like I fell or like I was robbed, they would believe him because they didn't know the signs. Now they know the signs of like, yeah, she come and if this bone is broke, it means somebody twist her arm or did that. They know those signs. But back then they did not know. And abuse was common, but it wasn't reported as much because a lot of women didn't know that they had the voice to tell anybody.
Right.
But I don't believe he ran away. It's one thing that like his mom did that always make me sit back. It's the bike. He loved that bike. I feel like as a kid, if I'm going to run away, I'm going to take my bike. I'm not going to walk because it don't seem like he's going to walk to North Carolina from Atlanta. That's a long way. He going to take his bike because he, in his 9-year-old head, that bike's going to get me there faster. That bike I love because she chained that bike up. She had that porch light out because she knew her son loved that bike and he was going to come home for that bike.
Did he pack a bag?
Nothing was packed. Nothing. That's why I'm leaving as a runaway. I feel the police walked. They saw the living environment, like, oh, they in low income housing. They in a project. They in this. Black boy went missing. On to the next one. They didn't care. Because to me, if they care and they really sat down and talked to those boys and really talked to them, because it seemed like one did open up. It was one little grown little boy that opened up and said, hey, my stepfather is abusive. My stepfather did this to my mom. And a real police officer, a real good one, he will sit back and like, okay, what else? Have he hurt you? What else is he doing? Like, ask the right questions to get, because in that moment, he could have looked harder into that case. He could have said, okay, it's abuse going into this.
Right.
What happened that night? Did the little boy really was in his bed? Is his brother's holding up information? Like, you don't know if you don't ask the right questions.
Right.
And I feel like cops should ask the right questions.
Right.
But they didn't. They wrote him off. They saw him as a black little boy. They didn't care. It's like, oh, on to the next one.
Right.
One less black boy to look for, basically.
Yeah.
It's just sad that the mom didn't get the answers that she needed for her son, that she died without knowing. You know what? I try to look. I don't know if the stepfather's still alive. They did not say.
That's why you have to be very wise with who you choose to be with.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have kids and how they treat you, how they're going to treat your kids. It's the biggest decision in your life, honestly. And it could have positive outcomes and it can have very terrible ones.
Very terrible ones. And so many step parents killing their stepchildren.
Yep.
Well, guys, this is our case. And let's get this case out there. Let's make this case go viral, because this case isn't talked about. This case isn't after. This young boy, Anthony, he needs to be found, and his family needs the answer. So let's get his family the answers that they need. Don't forget, we are on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube, so please come check out our YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Give us that 5-star rating. And please send a case suggestions to our emails or in the link below. This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.